She'll just have, I've done. To order, 7:05. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to tonight's meeting, December 14th, 2022. Tonight's meeting will be conducted in accordance with the Open Meetings Act, a copy of which is posted on the back wall. Councilwoman Marva Ellwanger informed me she could not be here at the meeting tonight and asked that she be excused. So I guess I would ask if there's a motion to excuse. Motion by Sherman. Is there a second? I'll second. Roll call.
Sherman?
Yes.
Galloway?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
Motion carries 4 in favor, 0 against. Thank you. First item of business then would be approval of the minutes for November 22nd, 2022. Any questions, comments, corrections, additions? If nobody saw anything, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Radcliffe, second by Sherman. Roll call.
Galloway?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Olson?
No vote.
Sherman?
Oh, yes.
3 in favor, 0 against, 1 abstention. Item number 3, comments by the public. If there's anybody here that would wish to speak to anything that is not otherwise on the agenda, may do so at this time. Seeing none, we will move to item number 4, acceptance of county clerk's certification of votes held on November 8th, 2022 election in Cheyenne County. And who's going to speak to that? David?
Oh, sure.
Is there anything to speak to it, or just?
I mean, do you want me to
I
read
suppose
this
you just
here?
present it for the record.
Yep. I can read this little paragraph they have here. I, the undersigned being, oh, no, that's from Cheyenne County, never mind. I'm not the city, I'm not the county clerk. It's cast, canvassing board. They did meet on November 8th of 2022 to confirm the results of the election. I guess we should
Okay,
state that.
that's probably all we really need on that. But it looks like we need a motion and a second to accept those.
So moved.
Motion by Olson, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Radcliffe, roll call.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
Galloway?
Yes, motion carries 4 in favor, 0 against. So at this time, council will need to adjourn sine die for the purpose of reorganization. And we will do that at 7:09. And begin with the swearing in ceremony of newly elected council members. Jay, are you going to do that, or do you want him to do it here?
I will do it, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay?
So we need
I
all
will
4 of you
reopen the
down
meeting,
here.
and at this time ask the new council persons elected on the November 8th election to step forward and raise their right hand.
All 4 of you need to come down here. Let me move.
Are we ready?
Almost.
Are you going to do the picture for me?
Towards the flag is fine.
Do you want to do it with them going the other way?
No, you're
like
the only one that gets out.
Perfect.
Yeah, yeah. Even the old guys have to come back and do this. Okay, go ahead, Jay.
All right, so I hope that you each have a copy of the oath of office in front of you.
We do not. So we do not. So break it up nice and neatly, because I've done this once.
There's some of them that are kind of long here.
It gets kind of lengthy.
Okay, I will. I do it differently if you don't have it in front of you, so I will. So when I say state your name, please state your name. That I state your name,
I, Roger Galloway,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Nebraska
and the Constitution of the State of Nebraska
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance
to the same, that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
and without mental reservation
and without mental reservation
or for the purpose of evasion,
or for the purpose of evasion,
and that I will faithfully and impartially perform
and that I will faithfully and impartially perform
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of City Council Person
of City Council Person,
according to law and to the best of my ability.
according to law and the best of my ability.
And I do further swear
And I do further swear
that I do not advocate,
that I do not advocate,
nor am I a member
nor am I a member
of any political party or organization
or any political party or organization
that advocates the overthrow
that advocates the overthrow
of the government of the United States
of the government of the United States
or of this state by force or violence,
or this state by force or violence,
and that during such time
and that during such time
as I am in this position,
as I am in this position,
I will not advocate
I will not advocate
nor become a member of any political party
nor become a member of any political party
or organization that advocates
or organization that advocates
the overthrow of the government of the United States
the overthrow of the government of the United States
or of this state by force or violence.
or this state by force or violence.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay, I'd ask the council members come be seated, and we will further organize with officers.
You shouldn't even take them down.
Let's know when you're ready, Roger, and I will deal with the nominations.
Thank you.
Do we want to do that now?
Oops, sorry about that.
Want to come over here, Laura? Before you do that, we have something.
Yeah, and real quick, Jay will do a short presentation for Bob.
Sure.
Elvis went out the door.
Thank you for your 6 years of service.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Wow. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got it.
Both locations in there for you.
You betcha. Thank you.
Bob, I'd like to personally thank you for your time and service to council. You always treated it with respect and very seriously, and your efforts were always very much appreciated.
I appreciate it.
Hey, Bob, and there's a card in the front of that.
Go ahead, temporary chairman.
So at this time, we will call for nominations for mayor. Once we have some nominations, we can also ask that someone moves to cease the nominations. Then at that time, we'll determine whether or not we're going to vote by oral vote, or if you would like to vote by paper vote. So I will open it up for nominations for the position of mayor.
I've had the honor and privilege of being mayor. It's something I've enjoyed doing very much, taken seriously, and tried to spend a lot of time committing to that. But I also believe more council members should take advantage of the opportunity. I'll nominate Brad Sherman.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
You don't need a second for nominations.
That's correct, you don't, but I'm asking if there's a second or if there's another.
Oh, another nomination.
Is there another
Oh,
nomination? Yes. Are there any other nominations for mayor?
Is there a motion to close the nominations?
I'll move to close the nominations.
Need a second on that?
So there's been a motion
I
to
don't think so.
elect Brad Sherman as mayor. Would you like to have that vote in writing or orally?
Oral.
Oral is fine, I think.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Stroman,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
We assume you accepted.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bondegard,
Yes.
That's all 5.
Motion passed.
Okay.
I will turn the matter over to the newly elected mayor. Congratulations.
Thanks. I guess I'll do my best to follow in Roger's footsteps. I've 4 years to sit here and watch and listen. And
Hopefully you're paying attention.
I did sometimes. I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
You'll find out.
Forgot to switch the computers, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, technology. We'll get by.
All right, so we need a motion for a vice mayor, is that correct?
Yes, and open nominations for vice mayor.
Well, I would certainly nominate Roger for the vice mayor position.
And then ask if there's any other nominations.
Is there any other nominations? If not, I'll seek to close the nominations.
And ask for a roll call.
And then we'll do a roll call.
Sherman,
Yes?
Galloway,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bondegard,
Yes.
Stroman,
Yes.
Announce the vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. Vote passes, 5 in favor, 0 against.
Okay.
Okay.
So then we move right into number 7. Public hearing for the
Mr.
consideration.
Mayor, if I might explain, because we postponed the meeting due to the snowstorm yesterday, we had to have the meeting. We've given notice for yesterday. It doesn't really give us the required amount of time for today's meeting. But because the snowstorm is an emergency situation, and I believe that the rest of the council meeting tonight needs to be issues that are of a emergency or time-sensitive matter. And because of that, I've asked the city manager to move the things that have to be dealt with at this meeting to the top of your agenda. And I'm asking the council to table the rest of the agenda so that we can give the public accurate notice of those other things.
Jay, do you want a motion for those items that need to be tabled? Or do we just agree to table them?
I think you're going to have a motion to table those. You
Okay.
can either do that now or you can wait until after you've gotten through 7 and 8.
I'll make a motion to table items 9, 10, 12, 14, and 15 for the purpose that they are not time-sensitive and do not fall under the criteria of an emergency meeting rules. Is there, you ask.
Is there a second?
Yeah, second.
Okay, motion by Galloway, second by Burke.
Old habit.
okay, Stroman,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bondegard,
Yes.
Done.
All right, so the motion passes 5 in favor, 0 against, to table 9, 10, 12, 14, and 15. So now we'll go back to number 7, the public hearing, the consideration of resolution 2022 1201 Class D liquor license for Maverick Incorporated, DBA Maverick 702, and manager application for Pamela J. Dillon, and making a recommendation to the Nebraska Liquor Control Commission.
Open the hearing at 7:21.
We'll start that hearing at 7:21.
I don't know that anybody's here for them or.
Okay, Maverick doesn't have anybody here to represent. They were, going to be here yesterday, and I called her and told her that, she's stuck in Denver. And so they were planning on being here, but they were unable to come.
I can say that, Mr. Mayor and Council, I haven't heard any opposition to this liquor license, and I don't.
Chief, have you heard anything?
I haven't even talked to me, but
Otherwise, standard liquor license.
And they have several other businesses or Maverick establishments that have liquor licenses, and,
At least 3 in Nebraska.
yeah, they're good.
Okay, so we just need a motion to approve the,
Close the hearing first.
oh, sorry. Close the hearing at 7:21. And now we need a motion to approve the resolution.
I move to approve Resolution 20221-201.
Second.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Galloway, second by Bondegard.
Galloway,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bondegard,
Yes.
Stroman,
Yes.
Sherman.
Yes. Okay, motion passes 5 in favor, 0 against.
Are you doing this or am I?
So next we'll do number 8, consideration of ordinance 1841, implementation of the renewal of the half-cent sales tax for election. Mr. Lane presiding.
Evening, Mayor, City Council. So on November 8th, city voters voted in favor of keeping the local option sales tax. Previously, this happened in 2012. We passed 2 resolutions, not sure for the exact reason. I think it had to do with the dates, because the dates changed from April to July. So July would have been when this sunsets, June 30th would have been when it sunsets. It didn't pass, but it did pass, so we can continue that. So this local option sales tax would keep our sales tax rate at 7.5%, would be within the corporate limits of the city of Sydney, where it has been for the last 10 years. The previous 10 years has allowed for the payment of several projects in the city without having to increase our debt levy. Those projects have included the new tennis courts, the aquatic center, the underground sprinkler system at the golf course, part of the storm water project known as Jesua, which is that ditch by the soccer fields. Paving and the stormwater mitigation project on 13th Avenue right out here in front of the building, and then as well as doing Forest Street on the north side.
Elm Street.
Elm Street, sorry. Forest from 13th.
Forest does need done though.
It's 13th and Elm were the 2 that were done
With Elm.
under the sales tax, yes.
And then this sales tax, again, so just for new council members, just to kind of break this out, how this is going to be, the fund gets brought up. 50% will go to street infrastructure project, 25% to the aquatic center for existing debt and future projects, 5% to Hillside Golf Course for infrastructure projects, 10% to stormwater mitigation projects, as well as existing debt, and then 10% towards park infrastructure projects. Obviously, there's not a crystal ball that projects sales tax for the next 10 years, but when we kind of were figuring this, we figured about an extra $8.5 million in funding for the above listed projects that helps out. And then the state of Nebraska, like always, gives us a pretty short window to get this done, so I have to have this ordinance, this 23-month letter, the folks cast the approval on the map, and the affidavit that we had a public hearing for this back there by December 1st to the state, so and that'll keep us going. In July, there'll be going from 7.5 back to 7, and then the 7.5 again keeps us going on current tax rate.
So the ordinance is just needed to implement the renewal of the sales tax.
Yep.
No other questions? I suppose we could see if we have a motion to designate ordinance 1841.
So moved.
There you go.
Second.
Second.
Okay.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bondegaard,
Yes.
Stroman,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Okay. Now we need the clerk to,
11.
or read the title.
An ordinance to increase the local option sales and use tax by 0.5% from 1.5% to 2% upon the same transaction on which the state of Nebraska is authorized to impose such a tax with the corporate limits of the city of Sidney effective July 1st, 2023 for a period of 10 years to provide for the repeal of all ordinances in conflict herewith and to provide for an effective date of this ordinance.
And then we would really appreciate a motion to waive the 3 readings.
No,
Or
we have to pass it first.
like to pass it?
You have to
That's the
Wait.
first reading, now we have,
waive, you
oh,
have to waive it.
you're right, sorry.
First time.
You're on it.
I was ready to
I would
roll.
love to make
I was
that
ready to go.
Well, the only reason I know is because it's written right here.
Yeah, sorry.
So I have to credit Lori for that pop. So, is there a motion?
I would love to make a motion to waive the 3 readings.
Love to accept that. Second.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion by Burke, second by Stroman.
Bondegaard,
Yes.
Stroman,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Radcliffe.
Yes.
All right, and we need a motion to pass said resolution.
I'll move to pass ordinance 1841.
Second.
Motion by Galloway, second by Stroman.
Stroman,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bondegaard.
Yes.
All right, so we will have the clerk read the number. Read by number.
Yeah.
1841.
Very nice. We have a motion to publish the resolution.
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, motion by Galloway, second by Bondegaard.
Sherman,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bondegaard,
Yes.
Stroman.
Yes.
The motion passes 5-0 to publish.
Yay.
Yeah, he's right.
All right, look at all the time we just saved.
I'm excited about that one.
And so now the next
Residents of Sidney.
one will
Is it
be
Amanda?
11, consideration of the library board appointments. We have Amanda Easton.
You might want to let them know just for Jay's purpose why we deemed this, okay.
Yes, I'm Mandy Easton. I'm the director of the library, Sidney Public Library, and this issue was deemed time sensitive because the next library board meeting is before the next city council meeting. And so we have to have our new board appointed before the next meeting. So we're asking to recommending to appoint Tanya Lewis to fill the vacancy created by the resignation of Chandra Weigel in August 2021. She's currently been temporarily filling that role and now to start a regular term as a library board member. And then appoint Stephen DeWitt to the library board to fill the vacancy created by the term held by Sandra Light, which expires December 2022. Correct. Is there any questions?
Everybody's happy with that?
I've worked with Tanya and talked to her extensively about the library board and stuff, and I know she puts a lot of time and energy into the position. I think will do a fantastic job and has done a fantastic job with it, and Mr. DeWitt seems equally experienced, so I'd be in favor of both of those.
Nothing else? We have a motion to approve.
I move to approve the recommendations for library board appointments.
Second.
Motion by Galloway, second by Burke.
Galloway,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bondegaard,
Yes.
Stroman,
Yes.
Sherman.
Yes. All right, motion passes 5-0.
Thanks, Amanda.
All right, this must be Mr. David Scott updating us on the UST Global Voting Action as
Oh, I have to print everything
applicable.
I wondered.
I'm
And the reason we have this as an item that we will talk about, even though this is an emergency meeting, is because the way the termination lease is worded, they would like to be out by January. And so in order to make that happen, if the council should so agree, they would be vacated by January 31st if we were to take this meeting into January. Claire would be moving in February to give them a 30-day notice as per the agreement that we have written up here. So anyway, we've been in a lease agreement with them since 2018. They've been leasing that building. I know when COVID came, they started working a lot of people from home and have come to learn, like many businesses did during that time, that they don't need that big of a space for all their employees. And so what they would like to do is terminate their lease. They did sign the 2-year extension that would take them through August of 2023. So this will end the lease effectively 6 months in advance of that. So if you don't choose to vote for this, we would probably want to hold them to leasing that facility until August 31st. I don't see any headache personally with them vacating the building. They don't have a lot of employees there anymore. And they will be looking for a smaller place in town to do business out of. I did try to ask them a lot of questions that I thought the council might ask, such as, will there be any employees laid off? What will they do? And every single employee will still have a job. They're not planning on getting rid of anybody. They'll all still be work-from-home jobs, and they will still be employed here in Cleveland and Cheyenne County. They'll just have a smaller head office somewhere in town. They've looked at a couple different places. They haven't quite found exactly what they want yet, but I think they've got it narrowed down to a couple options. In the meantime, if they can't get a lease signed, they will continue to run it as they have been through their management out of Fort Collins, Colorado. So that's kind of what they're wanting to do. I know that there is interest in that building. I don't know that I want to give details yet without that person's permission, but I know there are parties interested in purchasing that building if the city so choose to do that after UST has vacated the premises.
So the interested party probably would prefer there not to be a lease up until August?
Right. They're wanting to, there is an interested party in that building who is wanting to move quicker than that.
Jay, if we decide to sell the building, what type of period do we allow for advertising and everything that needs to be done public?
I provided David with the requirements
Okay.
if we do decide to sell. Obviously the first step has got to be whether or not we are going to keep the lease or not. But yes, we'll have to, if we're going to sell and the building is worth over $100,000, we have to have an appraisal, and then we have to provide information regarding the sale.
But it'd have to be made available. It'd have to be made available
I'm
for.
only hearing half of what you're saying, so I'm trying to answer with what I think you're asking.
It would have to be made available for any parties that would be interested in bidding on it. It's not like we just go out and make an agreement with one party.
Not necessarily. You guys can say that you are wanting to put it up for sale and enter into an agreement with someone regarding that.
Okay.
You don't have to put it out for an open bid. It's no different than if you were, listing it with a realtor, one person would come in. So you absolutely can say, hey, this is for sale, and then negotiate with one person if that's who contacts you.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Jay, but especially if there would be any other facilities involved in the agreement, right?
That's correct.
I just wanted to make sure we didn't get accused of something down the road.
Right, I get you.
CYA.
So I guess at this point, we're just wanting to make a decision whether we want to allow UST to
Terminate the lease.
terminate their lease earlier than August 31st. They would like to be out in January, so And just so you know, I did do, and Lane and I did some research on what they currently pay us for is the property tax, the insurance, and elevator inspection. Now, oddly enough, all those things run right up through December, so there would be very little prorated expenses that they might owe us for. It'd be just a very short 1 month of maybe property tax and 1 month of insurance, so it wouldn't be a big amount of money where they're walking out of the lease still owing 6 months of property tax or anything like that. It'd be a very small amount of money. Just wanted to point that out.
Well, I think the lease, served the purpose, which the original intent was to keep the business in town and maintain the 85 jobs in town, especially at a time when the city had faced losing the majority of the Cabela's employees. So I think the lease has served its purpose. The purchase of the building has served its purpose. So whatever we decide to do with it after that, I think,
We'll still retain the job.
yeah, I think we've accomplished at least the first goals with the building. And with interest, knowing that there's parties that are interested in the building makes it less of an issue, I think, getting out of the lease, terminating the lease.
I mean, I can't guarantee anything, but I know people are interested. It just depends on
Yeah.
whether that would come to
Yeah.
fruition.
I know parties have asked about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Anybody else?
Roger, I did look up the statute real quickly. 16-201 gives first-class cities the right to sell and convey, exchange, or lease any real or personal property in such manner and upon such terms and conditions as may be deemed in the best interest of the city. So there isn't a requirement to do a bidding. And you were asking about a timeline, so it has to be exercised if we sell, it has to be exercised by ordinance, directing the conveyance and the matter and terms thereof. And it has to be published for 3 weeks immediately after the passage of the publication. And then we have to do the remonstrance period, which is a 30-day period.
That occurs after the sale.
That's correct.
Okay,
Well,
that's
after
all.
you
Or what,
after you've entered into an
an
agreement.
agreement,
Correct.
yeah.
And those are governed by 16-201 and 16-202 of the Nebraska statute.
Yeah. No, thank you. I just wanted to be clear on that, before we get the cart in front of the horse. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on it.
My only comment, I guess, and it really has nothing to do with the lease, but I think we should think about it now, the lease, but if this interested party would fall through, we better give some thought to a plan B of some
Right.
kind to do
Right.
something with that building, so.
I mean,
I
at the
don't know if we
very
have to answer
worst,
that
we could
tonight, but,
auction, but that would be fine. If everybody else that says they're interested falls through, I mean, that would probably be an option.
But that's not a big deal, because could be empty in August anyway, if they go through the
It's really
lease.
only
Yeah.
6 months, and they're gonna be out of their lease no matter what we do either way in 6 months, so.
No other questions? Any motion to approve letting UST Global out of the lease?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Bondegaard, second by Burke.
Redcliffe,
Yes.
Bondegaard,
Yes.
Stroman,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
All right, motion approved 5-0. So next,
I was just
you're
like to
right
stay
in the
here
right
and
spot.
I'll finish this right. At first, I just want to thank everybody, Tasha and everybody at the chamber and everybody that contributed to the holiday cakeries. I thought it was, for what we had to kind of do to rearrange it at the last minute, I thought it turned out to be very successful. In fact, it sounds to me like they're getting a lot of feedback that people like the 2-day thing and might want to continue something in that kind of nature in the future. So they did a really good job at the last minute of rearranging things. I think made the public happy, and it really was a good event. I want to thank everybody that picked into that. I know that countless hours went into it, so and especially city staff as well that put time in on that. And then speaking of city staff, I wanted to let everybody a reminder that the employee banquet is January 6th. If you haven't gotten back to Autumn on that, you might want to let her know very soon, because I'm sure that the vendor will want to know how many we have coming. So, and if you haven't, if you guys haven't heard from Autumn yet, I'll make sure she reaches out to you and see about that.
I got an email from her
Oh, you
today.
did get it, okay. And I also want to thank all the city crew for the snow removal that they've been doing the last couple of days. You can all tell it's been quite an interesting couple of days. We moved a city council meeting, we moved a whole bunch of snow. So thank you to, Hank's not here, but thank you to all the city staff that helped in that. And one last thing I wanted to do is I want to introduce Mr. Jeff Clare as the city's next economic development director. You want to come up and say a little something about where you're from?
Mr. Mayor, Councilman, I just don't know how to say it. In the last 2 weeks that I've been here, I have sensed what a family is really about. There are companies throughout America that are sad in terms of the location they are currently in. And I think my time here will bring lots of business opportunities coming to Sydney, a lot of employees, and a lot of the store owners that I've met who are in need of new customers, the ability to have a viable income in the future. And I truly appreciate being here. So, thank you much.
Appreciate you coming.
Welcome, great to have you here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Just been getting after it, meeting with everybody the last couple of weeks. His schedule's packed every day.
Did we buy him a Go Big Red sweatshirt yet, or?
It's on order, sir.
It might take time, we'll work on you.
If we had somebody from UPS that could hurry that up a little bit.
That wouldn't hurt, would not hurt.
That's all I had today, I guess. So.
All right. Well, around the horn, Chief, you gotta have some interesting story to tell us.
Well, we'll just have our 5th annual Shop with Cop will be Saturday from 9 to 1 o'clock, Bowling Alley.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Mike?
Just want to congratulate the new council members and the newly seated mayor, and look forward to working with all of you.
And a street light update?
No comment. It's not looking pretty though.
Okay.
I will get you a more firm date, but it's.
If you can.
I mean, they won't really give you one good point.
Okay, well,
I
Bert,
can hold the feet to the fire a little bit.
Burke and I will keep
I'll
asking.
remind you next meeting.
Yeah, we'll keep.
They'll give you
we'll
some
keep
lip
checking.
service, though.
We'll keep checking.
Lane, how's the snow removal going?
I wasn't allowed to help. Although Hank did say he had another truck he was having problems with, and so I may have to take care of that.
We got the man for the job, that's awesome.
And I will say that Jeff did at least not wear a Georgia Southern shirt his first day.
I've burned it.
Okay.
I think we graciously would have allowed it, though.
Would have let that one slide.
Yeah, only fair.
And anything else you want to talk about?
Just reminding us, we are going to go ahead for our open house at the library tomorrow, so if anybody can get out and make it.
Okay. Perfect. Guess we'll start over here. Any comments? Anything you want to tell us?
No.
About you? Nothing? Nothing? Paul, you got to say something.
All right, thanks for swearing us in. Appreciate the opportunity to help serve the community. How's that?
I like it.
All right.
Roger?
Thank you to everyone who helped make holidays in Hickory a success. I know people who attended enjoyed it very much, as well as the Parade of Lights and Santa Claus, the reindeer, and despite the harsh weather, I think we had a good turnout. People enjoyed it very much. And again, I would say thank you to Bob Olson and also Marva Ellwanger. Both people stepped up at a time when their community needed them, served graciously and always in the best interest of the community, and worked very hard at it. So thank you to both of them for all of their efforts.
Well, again, thank you guys for putting me in this spot. I appreciate working with Roger and Burke again. Look forward to working with Brandon and Paul. And I think we got a lot to look forward to. We got a lot of things going on. Unfortunately, this is my first 3 days in this city in the month of December, so I missed a lot of stuff that was going on, but it sure does look pretty downtown. So I think that's about all I got to say. So,
Nope,
no,
18.
we have a
Closed session.
closed session. We're going to go into closed session, or actually,
You need a motion
we
to
have
go
to
in?
motion
Yeah.
to go into closed session.
I move to go into closed session for the purpose of possible real estate negotiations.
Second.
Motion by Galloway, second by Burke.
Stroman,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Mondegard,
Yes.